So this is a quick tutorial for alpha teachers specifically and how to use this website to find material, curriculum, etc. If you are not an alpha teacher, then you can still use this in the way that I'm going to lay out, but otherwise there will be a video for you as I start putting in materials that are more easily accessible for someone not with an alpha program. So if that is you, I apologize. In the time being, you can just kind of access this as if you're an alpha teacher. So for alpha staff, here's the homepage of the website. Right, you'll notice that there is a way to access materials through the bottom. I don't recommend you go that way for now because it's not set up very well, because what's going to happen is if you click on it, now there's going to be recent additions, some curriculum resources. It's a little confusing for what you should be doing now. If you go straight into the curriculum and resources tab at the top, however, you will see that it's laid out. So if you're a high school or middle school teacher, you're going to jump straight in. Say I'm middle school, I'm going to jump straight into the middle school staff sequence PLT lab curriculum. It says alpha on it, so you know that's for alpha teachers. And then what's going to happen is currently the first quarter is not filled out. That will change by the time probably you see this. But right now you're looking and all of the lessons and materials are laid out in such a way that you have teacher-facing tools and student-facing tools. So if we look at the teacher-facing tools, right, you can look and here's a slide presentation and resources and materials. So what you need to do is make sure you go through the presentation. If there's a presentation embedded on the teacher side, that means you will walk through that presentation with your students in class. If you want to make that presentation fill the whole page, you can do that there. Okay. If you are getting ready though, before you meet with the students, obviously you want to go through the presentation for yourself. You want to access facilitation notes if they're there, read through them, and then print them out for you to use when you are facilitating with the students. And finally, printing out worksheets if there are for the students. It should be very clear. It's going to tell you it's for printing, right? For printing and use for facilitation, you should know what you need to do. And then it'll link if there's something specific you need to access on the student page, it'll link you through there. Okay. If there is no presentation embedded on the teacher side, if it's embedded on the student side, then you know that the students are going to have to access it that, and they'll kind of walk through it themselves. So for an example of that, let's go to the high school section and say that students are doing the writing a resume. Okay. So first we'll go to the teacher tools. And you notice here there's a teacher guide that kind of walks through all the different pieces with links to the presentation, telling us what the student directions are, what your own teacher directions are, again with links embedded, right? There's a tracking spreadsheet, right? It should be very cut and dry. Here's a checklist that you're going to run through for assessment, right? On the other side, for that one, right, there is the student facing. And so what happens here is you notice that there's some directions for the students and the actual presentation is embedded on the student facing side, which means that this is meant to be something that the students walk through at their own pace. Now in the teacher guide or the teacher's facing description, it will tell you if this is something they should maybe be doing in family groups or in other kinds of groups together, or if this is something they're doing individually. In this case, this is one that they'll do individually. And so now the student will walk through the presentation, watch the videos, and it will walk them through writing a resume. Again, the directions are here, so then this share it with your teacher, shows them how to share, right? All the important information should be embedded in there. If it's not, then I did something wrong and you should be contacting me and letting me know. But again, you should be looking at both sides of the curriculum, right? Just to make sure you're ready to go. So look at the teacher-facing tools and the student-facing tools before presenting to your students, so you're fully aware of what's happening. If you want more information, if you go into About, this is where there's information about PLT, but also training modules are currently in this section, right? So if you want to know more about the core leadership habits, things like that, those are all there. As time goes on, I will be adding links to the scope and sequence will show up in the website, and this will be developing as we go. So just know that there will be more things added to this, and as we go, we will let you know. Currently in PLT Field, there's not a ton of resources available. They do have some of the slides for exercise and formations, but again, as time goes on, you will start being able to access what is happening on a day-by-day in that class. Student training modules will start appearing on this website, and all of these kinds of things will be linked. And finally, for alpha teachers, you go down, there's an alpha only additional resources tab. For now, there's actually nothing in there, but as we go, there might be some materials that we want to be only alpha facing. This might be something that we need to password protect because there are things in there that are specific to alpha, or maybe specific students' names or in streets or something like that. If that's the case, I will let you know the password you will have to access by filling in a password. Right now, there's no password and it's just a menu, right? It's not actually in existence yet. But as time goes on, I will be clear about that. Otherwise, if you have any questions, just email me or meet me at my office hours, and I'd be happy to help you use this website.